How does someone politely end a conversation with a person who won't stop talking? I'm an Uber driver. I was once summoned to pick up two people for just this reason. They had me drive 4 blocks, 25 miles, 1.5 minutes to another bar just to get out of a conversation with someone. Minimum fare, $3.75, and $10 tip on the app. I read one of those mildly interesting newspaper features recently with an etiquette expert. Their advice was, rather than make an excuse, you should be more direct that you are ending the conversation and say something like, "I've really enjoyed talking with you. I'm going to circulate around the room now as it's less likely to create an expectation you might come back." It does work too. Worst case I've ever had, I basically gave every verbal cue I knew of. Eventually stood up, then stood in the doorway, then backed out of the doorway. And this dude was still talking. In the end I just said I'll be back and closed the door on him mid-sentence. I don't mean to interrupt, but it's got to be done, so just do it. They need a break anyway. I have to return some videotapes. We have a great line that we use in Ireland. I haven't heard it used abroad, but it could well be used all over for all I know. The person is rabbiting on and is showing no sign of stopping. You clearly and firmly say, "I'll let you go." Then, with the confidence of a person doing them a favor, you turn on your heel and stride away. This has the effect of making them think you are the one wanting to avoid wasting their time. If they figure it out, they can't call you out on it, because to do so would be to admit, at least to themselves, that they are wasting your time. In fact, most people never allow themselves to think it might be them who is holding you up, so they accept the offer of your leaving in order for them to get on with their important work. In general, if someone says, "I'll let you go" to me, rare but it has happened, I smile and say bye and end the conversation. It is a social convention and I abide by it. They want out. No ego. Let them go and the best of luck to them. People appreciate that, I imagine. Mental health worker here. I see patients every day who will talk forever if you don't stop them. You simply have to interrupt and redirect or end the conversation. I always politely tell them, "Let me stop you there," or "Let me jump in there." Sometimes you have to be abrupt or else you will be held hostage by the one-sided conversation. Time ahead out. I used to work on a team with a guy who had Asperger's and some related issues processing social cues. He would get started on a subject and just talk at people for 30 minutes plus without pausing for breath. He didn't get the cues that people were losing interest and would continue indefinitely unless you directly interrupted and told him to stop. He wouldn't be offended and generally appreciated being told he should have stopped. It was almost a rite of passage in the office to endure an extended one-way lecture about his choice of bathroom tiles or the benefits of all-weather road tires over winter tires, etc. And was getting a little chummy. When people get too chummy with me, I like to call them by the wrong name to let them know I don't really care. Ron Swanson. Shh. Do you hear that? No? 1 second, and just run off. I'll give the opposite advice. If you think your friends are always thirsty, have weak bladders, or get weird sudden strokes of to-do lists all the time, you talk too much. Edit. I'd thank you guys for the karma, but, I've got to get a drink and, like a lot. Also, I just remembered I gotta call Grandma. Shh. My turn. Right. Great. Listen, I gotta go wash my crotch, I'll see you later. Edit. Obligatory thanks for the silver. Still don't understand it, but thanks anyway. Tell them you are having a rather heavy period and must go to the restroom before you bleed all over yourself. Listen for the briefest pause when they talk. See they got a breath at some point and say, "Hey listen, I really gotta go to the bathroom, I've been holding it in forever and I might just shit right here." Voila! Drop an enormous, 90 decibel, pants-rattling fart while maintaining eye contact. "Oh, I'm sorry, but I ought to hurry. I got generic excuse. We can talk later." I have a friend who does this and he tends to drink a lot. It gets to the point where he literally will talk over you. I once sat on my phone while he talked to me for 5 hours straight. No joke, didn't even pause. I was going to sleep on his couch once and he kept talking. I was wrapped up in a blanket while he stood over me, talking. I had to drive away and sleep in my car. This is a typical workday for him. On the weekends he'll stay up 2 days straight, drinking and talking. Sometimes he uses an app that'll connect him with random people to talk to. I think he needs a therapist. Hand them one of these. https://i.etsystatic.com 6299782 Rilk date 0051344496624 Real 794xn.13444966246 It depends on the context, like most things. Who is the person to you? Random person on the street? Just tell them you're busy and walk away. Coworker? Politely explain that they need to stop talking so you can work. Dude at the gym? Tell him you're going to do your set. If he still doesn't stop talking, just put your headphones on and start lifting. Generally, if it's someone you aren't going to see often, whether they think you're rude or not isn't really important. Just tell them you're busy and just walk away or continue what it is you are doing. If it's someone you see often and avoid, friend, co-worker, classmate etc., tell them that they need to stop talking so you can do what you're meant to be doing. They probably aren't aware that they could be annoying people. They'd probably appreciate the wake-up call. So this method is contextual, but I have found it works in a lot of situations, especially in an office location, or more generally in a location where the offending talker has a place to go back to. So this is how it works. Usually someone will come into my office and stand in the doorway and start talking. I listen politely for a bit, and then if they don't get the cues to leave, I do some obvious things, like start working on my computer, and then playing on my phone, just some physical social cues to let them know that this is over. But some PPL don't get that, so in those cases where it's happening, I casually stand up, let them continue the conversation, and sometimes I give them an aha or yeah, and while walking out of my office, I walk to their office, and then, almost all of the time, they will go into their office first, and then they will sit down. That then gives me the ability to politely say something and leave their office. I call this method the walking them home method. Again, it can work anywhere. If a sibling is annoying you in your room, stand up and walk them towards their room, and they will migrate to their space, and then you leave. If you are at work, walk them to their space and let them settle, and then you leave. I use this method at least 3 times a week with some folks, and they literally have no idea. Yo bitch, shut the duck up. Fake a phone call. First, PM someone to call you. Then as your phone rings, just politely apologize and make your exit. If you know them well enough, a hand on the arm or shoulder will get someone to stop talking long enough for you to make your exit. Not needed though. It's been so great talking to you, but I'm late for something. Use the Ben Carson method. Oh no, my luggage, walk away. Oh, someone wants you over there. Gestures across the room. Oh, who? Me. Hush them really loudly and keep doing it if they keep talking. I have an annoying housemate who never shuts up. Tried everything, nothing worked. Now I just kinda grunt as a response and walk out of the room. These people are called astral vampires. But instead of sucking your blood, they suck your life force from you. Cast level 3 Death Watch to be sure. If not, find the Temple of the Serpent. The witch will tell you where to go. Godspeed, my friend. Tell them you don't like sports. Oh, I've just remembered I have legs and you're annoying. Walks away. Lie about anything. Mostly just pull a phone call or an urgent text. I want to hear what you have to say, but I need to excuse myself. I usually just say I got shit to do. Or scream about my pants filling with shit and run away. Most of my excuses are about shit.